hopefully we're back. Having some basically what's happened is I don't know what. Do we need to reopen?
Yes, we need to reopen the chat.
So apparently we all need to move over to a new chat.
Oh, you do.
There's no people on at the moment, but I guess I best keep talking. So I'm really sorry about this. This is YouTube's fault, not ours. Hi to you, Otis JB. Hopefully everybody's going to find their way back in. Hi to you, Angus's Trains. Leslie Gilpin says, yay! And Angus's Trains again asks about t-shirts.
You know what would be really great for t-shirts? You not asking me to spend 3 entire days making your videos.
Okay.
Then I don't have time for t-shirts.
She's just trying to get the
Angus's
chat.
Trains, Jenny is the problem. And Jenny is the one that causes me to not have time to finish the t-shirts.
Oh, if you're going to say that, I was going to swig some beer then.
Yes.
Mm.
So that is the reason Jen is at fault.
Mm. So,
and also she smells.
What's going on there?
I am trying to get the chat up so that we can see what's going on. Give it a moment.
So a few technical issues here. This is all caused by YouTube. So don't forget to hit that like button. This is a new video, so if you liked the previous little bit before it all crapped out, don't forget you can like this one as well. And also share it, let other people know who might have drifted away and gone, oh, it's done now. Yeah, come on board, everybody. And where were we?
You were talking about
stuff.
How you love the idea of just ripping all of your stuff out and starting again in T-scale.
No. Although, actually, funnily enough, T-scale, you'd get a heck of a lot in here. Actually, you would.
Yes, you would.
My eyesight wouldn't handle that.
No, it wouldn't.
So that's right. So bargains. Huntsheath Model Railway says the Birmingham train spot a high again. Easy Driver 31. Hello.
Is that big enough for you?
Hi there. Yeah, it's fine. Flyman Chairman 1.
Hi guys.
Grand Stetch is back. Yeah, I'm back. Hello everyone. Right. I forgot to mention this last time. If I miss out your comment, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just obviously when I'm talking. What?
The guy who just deleted his question. He's been asked about spell checking because what he actually wrote, if I saw it correctly, was, what did Horny announce?
Hornby didn't announce anything that I'm aware of, but their big announcement, let me just plug the phone in.
Bling.
Yep, that's got power. Hornby's big announcement is in January. But what they did have on show, and I did get a little bit of footage. I've maybe got about 5 minutes worth of footage from the whole of Warley. Yeah, I know, I'm rubbish.
Yes.
But they had the London and South Western Railway brake van on display, and the BR guys, and London and South Western Railway. I believe there's a Southern one as well to come, and apparently they should be here by Christmas, is what they said. I've got a big hole in my sock. I hate it when I get a hole in my sock. My toes poke out. Ooh. Right, anywho. Leslie Gilpin, have you seen the layout in fine scale T? Done of Midland Railway, tiny wee locos, no motor in it. That's a glutton for punishment. Fine scale T, oh my word. Barnabas Junction, Hornby announced a new batch of liveries for the Railroad Class 66. Yeah, I mean, I'd be... When people talk about announcements, I usually think of, like, big ticket new things. But the Urban Airsofter says, also what's your experience with the Batman 47s if you've had any? I don't own a Class 47. Never owned a Class 47. I'm warming to the idea of getting a 47, but it's low down the priority list, in all honesty. They don't tickle me. But then again, 37s don't particularly tickle me, but I do have 3 of them in my collection. But yeah, I'm not averse to a 47. I'd probably go for intercity livery, or did any of them get regional railways? I know they've got ScotRail, but then you get regional railways, or BR small logo blue with a tops number. They'd probably be my preferences. But there's always something else actually which I end up buying instead. I was looking at they had a Bachmann 47 for sale at Warley, a nice price, sound fitted, except it was Anglia Railways, so I passed that one by. The Don Juan King Fox Junction says you need some PVA for your sock. No, it needs sewing. I need a darning kit. I've got one downstairs. The Birmingham Train Spotter says I did not like the Great Model Railway Challenge. Well, yeah. The judges, we just stupid. Well, word. The judges. I think the problem was with the judging format rather than the people doing the judging. At the end of the day, it became very subjective. It was two people's opinions, and a lot of the time they did get it wrong. Also, bear in mind that the way things are edited can change how people come across, and they weren't mean at all on during the filming. Leslie Gilpin says, put a crochet tree in your sock. Actually, the Loco ladies would have that fixed in no time. I get the impression that they are ladies who certainly know their way around a darning needle. Otis JB, do you know if the new Bachmann models will be here by Christmas? I'm really looking forward to the L&Y Class 5. You would think they would be, because Christmas must be quite a big market for them. And so my guess is that the plan is for them to be here to buy for Christmas. But I know from previous years' experience, Bachmann are very good at missing that one. I remember when the Class 37-4s first appeared, they arrived in shops just in time for Boxing Day. Yeah, that's right. After Christmas. I mean, what kind of a stupid plan was that? So watch this space. Easy Driver 31 says you need to get access to Rod Stewart's layout. You're too right, actually. I'd love to go and visit there and do some filming and interview Rod Stewart and get my copy of Atlantic Crossing signed. Used to belong to my dad. Well, that's the album with I think it's got Maggie May and We're Sailing on, something like that. Rod Stewart, if you happen to watch this, then yeah, I'd love to come and look at your layout and admire your gold discs and stuff. So yeah, you know, that would be good. And Jules Holland as well is another one I'd love to go and visit his row. I've seen pictures of that, and that does look really special. So yeah, Jules Holland. Again, if you're watching this and you want a YouTuber to come and film your layout and do a quick interview with you, then you can look no further than the interview that I did with John Barber at Rails. Very nice and like friendly, candid, and hope we can do something like that. You know, call my people. The Urban Airsofter. I'm planning on getting the Intercity Exec Tamar or a Sector 47. Yeah, I think there was it Firefly that did an Intercity Executive livery 47. It did take my fancy until I saw the cost. A bit expensive, has to be said. Andy 1962. Think Hornby might be having a few issues again, as I've been told by Hattons that the Eleanor Azuma, originally due December, is now due July 2020. I must imagine, now you mention that, some of the W4 Peckett liveries do seem to have been pushed back to, I think in one case, December next year. So I suspect that there is a capacity issue at the factories. And also, don't forget, Hong Kong factories, it must not be overlooked, the unrest out in Hong Kong may be unduly affecting production across the board. So it wouldn't just be Hornby and Bachmann that would be affected, but Dapol potentially also, Helgen, Hatton's Originals, they're all made in factories out in Hong Kong. So it does strike me that the unrest there at the moment may be putting huge delays into the production processes. Leslie Gilpin, is it true that Cato are going to do 009 Welsh locos? I believe this is in conjunction with, was it Pico? And yes, indeed, you have heard true. That announcement was made a little while back, actually. And I do think that 009 is the scale that, you know, we've seen this resurgence in O gauge because of Dapol and Helgen to a lesser extent, bringing through these wonderful models at very affordable prices. We're now also seeing 009 getting the same treatment. You know, for years and years, I remember the adverts in the Railway Modeller from Hattons, with a little small list of mostly Pico track and a couple of gem kits, and then underneath in bold type, "This is all the 009 we have," like Norman was in the back room screaming through, "I keep telling them it's all we've got." Now we're getting models coming through from Helgen, we're getting ready to run models from Pico, getting ready to run models from Bachmann as well. So I think 009 is another growth area in the hobby. And actually one of the things that I always kind of fancied doing when I was younger was building a model of part of the Festiniog Railway. And it does strike me that, you know, like a little narrow gauge railway clinging to the side of a steep hillside does have a lot going for it. Brockwell Lasers Model Rail are doing Vale of Rydal locos as well as the Class 11 and E1 Tech. I did see posters for the Class 11. Now, can somebody please tell me how different the Class 11 is from some of the other, like the Class 8s, Class 9s? My understanding was the Class 11, is that the one that was originally the LMS built, built for the LMS? Because if that is the case, I'm sure that Bachmann have released their Class 8 in the guise of a Class 11 in the form of Basra, the Longmoor Military Railway Blue. So let's just see, what's your favourite new from Warley Model Railway? Do you ever consider favourite news from Warley Model Railway? I think the Fell is probably, if that pulls off, the Fell is one that people have been talking about for decades. And now we're finally going to see it. I think that that's either going to be a roaring success or a massive flop. And people go, well, that's why we haven't been making it all this time. But the Bosch Buster from Oxford Rail was another superb model which showed that some of these niche products can actually be the best sellers. So watch this space. If the Fell is done right and at the right price, I think that could be one that everybody has just for the novelty value. So, you know, let's see what happens. Warrington Train Spotter 2778. I saw the Class 91 announcements. They're doing the Scotsman livery and a few others. Now, are they sorting out the sound chip issue? Now, what this is that it's got a working pantograph which goes up and down, and it needs a special chip to do this. But it means if you want to fit it with sound, how do you get the pantograph to go up and down? So I'm very interested to see whether they're going to bring out a sound chip that will also operate the pantograph. That said, operating the pantograph in my view is a little bit of a gimmick, it has to be said. So not really a big deal clincher, but certainly be interested to know if they're sorting that out. The Birmingham Train Spotter. Did you know that DRS 3737069 is haunted? No, I didn't. Huntsheath Model Railway. Zemo is the answer. What, for one of their sound chips? Potentially, yeah. Sound is an area that I must confess, I do have a Zemo chip in a 31 that was bought second hand, but other than that, everything else, sound-wise, has been Hornby TTS. That's just the way I've gone, and I'm more than happy with the TTS chips. Particular favourites include the Class 20. That's really good sound off that. Oh no, I tell a lie. I've got some Econotrax chips in one of my 37s. Oh, excuse me. Which I'll play it to you because let's have a look. 37. Where are you? Where is? Oh, there you are. Right. Just let me put this bad girl on the track. This is my Bachmann 37 fitted with the Econotrax, or is it Soundtrax? The cheap one. And I just think that's quite good. So, which loco are we? 37, 16. 37, 16. There's a lot of horn action going on there.
Very cool music.
I'm just randomly pressing buttons to see what happens. What's this for?
You were coughing earlier on, so wet
I've
yourself.
got beer.
Yes, but why do you whistle on something that won't make you
Oh,
jump?
I don't like that. Mango flavoured Coke. It is
Peach.
Peach flavoured Coke. It's nasty. Absolutely nasty. But, hold on.
I think it's just peachy. See ya.
So, other way, come on. I quite like the sound of that. And I've got ooh, emergency stop. Right, enough of you, you're noisy. I'm going to put this back. Oh, yeah. Like I said before, if I don't get to your question, then, you know, obviously if it's a sensible question, ask it again, because it's just, the comments are coming in so fast. Oh, Andy 1962. Oh, wash your mouth out with soap. Jenny getting horny there. Oh, matron. Yeah, right. Well, just, you know, get an eye full of my Lichterdamen. Ladies of the night. Digger Evans, yeah, Cherry Coke is good. Warrington Trade Spotter 2778. Backman did a similar thing with their Class 90s with their pantograph, which I thought was good. What's that? DT Head, take your medicine. Oh, don't mind if I do. Dr. Beer is in the house. The Birmingham Train Spotter, the Locomotive sounds good. Yeah, it is. The other one I like, which is a Hornby TTS soundtrack. Just bear with me a moment. I'll play this one to you. Where you gone? Oh, yeah. Now, this is the NRM D8000 in gloss green. Just happens to be the locomotive that the sound chip has been put in. So I'm going to put that on the track, and then let's see, Loco 8, 1, 2, 3. So I am going to start her up. That, I think, oh. There we are. I don't know how well this sound's actually coming across, because it is quite a loud locomotive. Oh, yeah, it's nice. So we can like fast idle and I'm just randomly stabbing buttons here. I just realised you can't see it, can you? Let me just right. Let me just move round. So, yeah, there you are. You can see it now. But there you are. That's the TTS Sound Class 20. So, it says, what are you running a class? No, that's not a Class 40. Although, no, I don't actually have a Class 40. I do have a TTS Class 40 chip. Just going to move that up a bit so I get my top of my... Oh, apparently I'm back. Sorry about that. I went and touched a button back. It's all right. Emergency over. I'll have a beer.
Do I need to come and smack your butt? Pressing buttons. What are you pressing buttons for?
I accidentally caught the button.
Looks fine to me. No, everything looks fine. What are you on about?
Oh, because I fixed it. Right, be gone, cupboard monkey. Anyway, don't forget to hit that like button as well. 136 people in the chat and only 32 likes.
Oh,
how can that be? So don't forget to hit that like button as well. Show your appreciation for the Jenny Monday Club. And also remember, we've got Super Chat on the go if you're feeling really generous and you need to get rid of some loose change. And
a monkey.
See what I've got to live with?
You don't have to, you get to.
Do I? Right.
Yes.
I'm sure the top of my head is being chopped off. Yeah, you fix that.
There you go.
I Zoe. Oh, we're at 32, 38, 44, 34.
Fine.
Someone's getting a lot of exercise coming up and down in this video. Yes, you are.
I am, and I don't like it.
Oh, but now I'm at a jaunty angle.
Stop it, you'll press buttons.
There we go. Zoe should do a whole stream with me as my guest. We have done in the past.
We have, but you talked over me, and I wasn't allowed to tell my
Go
jokes.
and get the croquet.
No, I'm playing a computer game.
She's playing a computer game. Anyway, let's turn that off.
Last time I was on, she wouldn't let me do my jokes, so I don't like it anymore.
Your jokes?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you were doing something, but I was waiting for something funny to come up. She just walked into that, didn't she? But anyway, that's the Hornby TTS Class 20.
It's a very good one, actually.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite ones.
When you played both over the live stream, I was listening on my phone.
Does it come across okay?
Yeah, it comes across alright, but the first one, the one that wasn't TTS, seemed louder.
Yeah, that is quite a loud one, it has to be said.
Yeah, but the TTS one, it just sounds fine.
And then the other TTS sound, which I quite like, is the Class 8. So, let's put this one on. What have we got? 8673. Go 8673. It's got a bit of a dweeby. Oh, toot toot.
It's a grunk. Oh my God, sis.
I just quite like that. It does remind me a little bit of the sound of the one I remember shunting at Neasden Shed. Ooh.
That's very good. While you're doing that, we're having a lot of people asking. Sorry, I'll come into focus. I don't want to get too fine. We've had a few questions about whether I've got my layout done yet and whether I've started it. I haven't started the layout. I do have one thing for it, however, and it's a newspaper stand, and Jen has graciously allowed me to have a small show on her channel, which will probably go out every now and again on a Sunday, which will be basically a review of plastic kits. The first one will be the first part of my eventual layout, and it's a little tea stand, basically.
Yeah.
So we're going to start small and work up from that.
And I also very, very graciously bought you the model.
She did. Well, she spent all of £5 on it. It was great. Otis JB says, you're doing a layout? Yes, I am doing a layout. It's going to be a model of an underground station. It's going to be 3 levels. Let's say 3 levels. The surface level with the entrance and little tea stand and things like that. And then one level which will be one platform, and another level underneath which will be another platform in a different line. So it's going to be 3. I'm going to control it via a computer, probably doing something like a Raspberry Pi or an Arduino, something like that. So it'll be automated with certain terms of sounds and things like that. I want to try and make it so that it's like a diorama. So there we are. And other people were asking about jokes. Well, the problem with jokes is that you've got to have context. And I'm not sure this context is in the right place for jokes. But, for example, if I were to tell you that I spent the entire weekend hunting for some skin for a friend because I'd said that she had a nice new head. And she thought it was a very nice head, but it didn't really match her skin tone. So we spent the entire weekend hunting for different skins for her and trying them on. Most people would phone the police, or at least think I was crazy. But when I tell you that I was doing that in virtual reality, all of a sudden it makes sense, because context is essential. There's the opening line for one of my routines.
Oh, wait, somebody's asked it. Otis JB, what would happen if you ran a sound loco on DC? Do you need a blanking plate? No, a blanking plate's only if you take the chip out. Otherwise,
See ya.
yeah, smell you later.
Hang on.
Yeah, see what I mean? if you run them on DC, some of the more expensive chips will make basic noises, but TTS chip, it'll just be silent. You can set it so it'll run on DC, but you won't get sound out of it. So, there we are. That's the TTS Class 8. Oh, ah.
You alright?
Yeah, my knees are giving out.
Be careful, you need them.
Yeah, I do actually. I did see the joke in there. Right. I've been neglecting your comments, so let's have a look. The Birmingham train spotter. I'm very jealous. I only have 7 locomotives. Over 180 here last time I counted. I do have rather a lot. I'm just seeing actually what's in frame. You can see. Just trying to work out where. Well, behind me, if I move over, there should be, I don't know how well you can see all of those. I've got quite a few, and I keep buying more. I got, I bought 3 locomotives whilst at Warley, and one of them was for Les. Picked that up on his behalf, so that's going straight to him. But I got a Class 105 for £30. You know, we talked a bit before about, oh no, there's no point going on the Saturday because there's not as many bargains as you think. Actually, on the Sunday, I picked up a Bachmann Class 105 with people in it and DCC fitted for £30. Yeah, that's right. You just have to know where to look, I guess. I also picked up a whole load of DCC chips, ESU and Zemo ones for £10 each. They were second hand off a stall, but their backstory was that the guy had gone full sound, and they were the chips that had been in his locos, and he was selling them off at £10 a pop, and they all worked just perfectly. And I bought a G2A for £69. So yeah, I tend to come back from shows with far too much, has to be said. But New Mills Model Railway, that area by the shed is well lit now. Yeah, well, it's got a light just up here, and that shines down, which is quite good. We've actually, the main light up here is completely turned off, so if I turn that off, I am being bathed in a glow from a little desk lamp there and the computer monitor. But I'm going to turn that back on. Mad Bren, you know, Jenny, we are all jealous. I know. But all you got to remember is that this is like 20 years worth of collecting and building models. And I'm very lucky in the fact that I do own my own house. So I've done a loft conversion up here, which is the room you see. And it does put me in a very unique position. But, you know, I started out living with my parents. Started out small, very space restricted. Lived in a rented house for quite a few years. So really this is almost like payback for all of that suffering. So your time will come as well. James Carroll says, yes, Jenny has the affliction of a bug of model trains. Yeah. Richie Download Festival Goer got 32 locomotives, the steam and diesel traction. That's a nice collection. New Mills Model Railway, that area by the oh, sorry, we've already read that. Neil Sizer, I love the Peckets. Yes, well, interestingly enough, let me share with you the W4 Peckets in probably the livery that most people want. This is the Huntley and Palmer's livery, but you'll see there I have got both of the locomotives, locomotives C and D. Really pleased to be able to have both of those. I was quite lucky in a way that when the Peckets were first announced, I ordered the locomotive D, sold out, but I was lucky I had a copy. And then when they announced they were going to do the funny set with locomotive C, I pre-ordered that as well. And you know, it was so popular, that was the only way that you could really get hold of it. But there we are. Just put them back there. James Pett says, I approve of jam-based model railways. You jammy so-and-so. Sam's Trains, oh, hi to you. Missed you at Warley. This should give most model railway videos the much-needed room to manoeuvre, provided they're not directly addressing children. I suggest copy should only apply to content that is directed specifically at children in their own words, as opposed to content devised for a general audience. I said this, you've had feedback from YouTube. I presume you've appealed. Somebody told me yesterday that you'd had a number of videos that had been flagged by YouTube because of the copper thing. But yeah, Zoe gave a quick rundown from a legal perspective earlier on the channel. If you missed that, then do go back at the end of the video and you can watch that. And she gives a what's the word I'm looking for? She gives a commentary on that. I think essentially, I think a lot of people are unduly scared about this copper thing. And generally speaking, if you're not up to no good, you've got nothing to fear. And I know that's like people go, oh, well, that doesn't always work that way. But certainly, as long as you're not making videos aimed at children, then I guess you're going to be all right. James, the Urban Airsoft, personally, if it's all a load of codswallop. Not sure what you're referring to there. Raphael Wellard, I saw you with Les on Shed Chat 48. Well, thank you very much. Scott Malcolm, waiting on getting Bear. I believe Bear was supposed to be coming out just before Christmas, but I don't know whether that's been pushed back. Possibly because of some of the issues with the problems in Hong Kong. I suspect, I don't have any proof of this, but I suspect the unrest, the riots in Hong Kong may have afflicted production schedules in a lot of the factories. They're not just producing model railways, but anything else that's made in that area. Sam Strange says, just to be clear, I've had no contact with YouTube regarding the copper law. I merely discussed that I'd voluntarily be labelling my Thomas and Friends content as for kids. That's fair enough. I was mindful that I didn't speak to you directly. That was just what some of the other YouTubers were kind of relaying third hand. So it's probably better to be safe than sorry. But one of the things we talked about before is that it's I suspect that Google's algorithm, because it won't be real people. What you've got to think about is it's basically a computer program. I would suggest that think very carefully about the keywords that you use. And what Zoe and I have discussed is that there are certain keywords which, if you want to not get that video flagged as being aimed at kids, so don't use the flag like kids, children, family as well. Zoe and I discussed. Things like that are probably best to steer clear of, because the algorithm will take you to the cleaners otherwise. Yeah, Warrington Transport. Warrington Transport 2778 says the Backman stand was very busy on Saturday. Was it very busy on Saturday? No, it wasn't that busy. But there's a lot of people, they go there for the Backman returns, and somebody showed me something that they bought, and I was left thinking that for something that was a second's return, it was still rather expensive in my view. So I know a lot of people just assume it's going to be like this mega bargain, but you've got to know what things go for. And I bought second hand, perfectly good DCC fitted Backman Class 105 with people figures in, and I only paid £30 for that second hand. So, there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Runs perfectly, runs beautifully. So you've got to compare that with what returns are selling for somewhere like the Backman stand, and you've got to gauge, is that price a price you're happy with, I guess. SF Ratton NZ, hi from New Zealand, hi to you. It's great to have you along. Really great to have everybody along. I always feel really humbled about how all of you are quite happy to spend your Monday evening with me here on the Jenny Monday Club. Now, we do have merchandise available. If you head on over to Teespring, you can find the mugs. Yeah, I know we keep promising t-shirts, and we're just so busy. I'm not very technologically minded, so it's Zoe that has to deal with all of those. But Otis JB, so just to confirm, running sound on DC won't damage the loco. No, it will not damage it at all. As far as I'm aware, if you put a DCC chipped loco on a DC track, the only thing you've got to watch out for is something like a Relco track cleaner, high frequency track cleaner will kill your DCC chip. But if you're not using one of those high frequency track cleaning modules, which basically puts a high, it puts a harmonic of a high frequency on the track, which doesn't affect the DC motor, but does something to break up the dirt or stop the dirt forming, that will kill your DC chips. Just be aware of that. Thank you, I Like Transport. Always great to have a cheerleader with the tassels. Yay, go Jenny, go Jenny, go Jenny. I did once try out as a cheerleader when I was a lot younger, and I have all the grace and poise of somebody falling down a cliff. So I didn't get on very well. Ben Davis, hi Jennifer, did you see Rails of Sheffield at Warley? Did you head over things about Rails of Sheffield Terrier? How long before they come out? Right, Rails of Sheffield Terrier. I did have a chat with John and Oliver and Adam at Rails of Sheffield because I was really excited for the Rails Terrier. You may have seen my side-by-side review of the pre-production model versus the Hornby new Terrier when it came out at Ali Pally. John was very kind to let me do that and let me compare them, and it just showed how proud he was of the product that Rails and Dapol have been collaboratively making, that he was prepared for a YouTuber to do a review video against a very much a pre-production model that had been handled to death, didn't even have a motor or electronics in it. And it was testament to how good that model was, that even that stood up so well. But they were hoping that the Terriers were going to be on sale at Warley. They were hoping that they would have reached the UK and be there so that they could take them to Warley, and that would have been the big event. Unfortunately, schedules slipped because of an issue with the circuit boards that has been rectified, so you don't need to worry about that in terms of quality control, but it meant that the delivery schedule has been pushed back. Now they are being air freighted into the UK, so they thought that they might actually be available for sale maybe by the end of this week or beginning of next week. That's what I was told. So that's where we're up to on the Rails of Sheffield Terrier. I'm really looking forward to them, and I really want to get myself one of those two. I do have the Hornby one, the new Hornby one. I've got actually quite a few of the old Hornby ones as well. The new Hornby one is a good model, but if you want the definitive model, then I do believe the Rails Dapol Terrier is the one for you. So I'm looking forward to being able to get my hands on one of those and just see how it all compares in the end. I know there was a load of good comments actually I wanted to say. Why? Oh, come on. Let me scroll. My computer is rubbish. Ah, no, what are you doing? Come on. New image prop replicas. Watched your Harry Potter review. Looks a nice train set. Now, actually, yeah, they're interesting you say that. The Harry Potter set that I reviewed, it's the brand new one. Hornby sent that over, and the box is actually just down here. So this, upside down. This is the Harry Potter set. It's, I think a lot of people compared the previous version had a castle class in it, but the real locomotive used in the film might be called Hogwarts Castle, but it's actually Ollerton Hall. It's a hall class. So this has got the new super duper detail hall class locomotive, so it is accurate to the film, and it is a really, really good model. So in terms of like the adult collector market, even people who might be big fans of the film franchise, but not necessarily a railway modeler, this is actually a really good thing to get. Now, the locomotive itself, Hornby are releasing it with TTS sound. Unclear whether that's going to be with a Castle TTS sound chip, which they do definitely have out, or whether that's going to be with an actual bespoke Hall TTS sound chip. Remains to be seen. I'm very interested to find that out, actually, so watch this space. Just I'll move my ice skaters away. That's for a super secret project, actually, that Les and I are doing with a manufacturer. So watch, well, I was going to say watch this space, but watch their space first, because that's where it's going to be coming out. We're going to finish filming that on Tuesday, so the time frame's entirely up to the manufacturer after that, so we'll see what they use it all for. Matt O'Vale says, Sam and Jenny, between them, must own every loco ever made. I doubt that, actually. There's a lot of locomotives, and my collection goes right back. I started out with Hornby 00, that's how old I am. And even then, I never got all of the Hornby 00 models. Still looking for an 80033 264 tank, the 2-rail one. And also 48094, the Ringfield motored 3-rail 280 tank locomotive, but that's by the by. I've certainly got a big collection, and I'm guessing he probably has too. But I don't buy just anything. I do have a bit of a magpie collector vibe going on. If it looks pretty, I buy it, and that's just me. That's just like how I roll. I do the same with clothes. I do the same with records. I have been known to buy LPs purely by the picture on the front cover. It's like, oh, that looks pretty, I'll have that. And then, actually, quite often, sometimes I find out that the group is incredible. That's how I came across the group Savlonic. Because the cover intrigued me. There's another group as well. Lowcraft. I bought a 7-inch single by them. Again, showing my age. I did that purely off the front cover. Rob Farrell says, hi Jenny, it was nice meeting you at Warley yesterday. Likewise, it was great to meet up with so many people who watch the channel. So I felt really humbled that you all took the time out to come and say hello to me. Some of you had your picture taken with me, and it is great for massaging the ego. I did feel a little bit like a rock star. I haven't felt like that since the days when I used to do book signings with Waterstones for my range of books. Aha! And on that lovely little segue, let's have a look. What have we got down here? Ooh. So, don't forget as well, you can also still buy some of my books. These two, very commercially successful, did big book signing tours in 2008, 2009, 2010. For these, they're still available. You can buy them through Amazon and also direct from the publisher, which is actually Zoe and I's company. We've got all the remainder stock. It's allmousemedia.com, so if you head on over there, you can get yourself these. And it's coming up to Christmas, so get yourself a present, get somebody else a present. Great for the Secret Santa. So yeah, what else we got? Let's have a look. What else we got? I'm now in a weird place in the comments, so the Birmingham Train Spotter says, have you heard of the Birmingham Model Railway Club? Not per se, but I'm not big in the world of model railway clubs insofar as I've never heard of most of them. I've never been a member of any club. Just haven't really. So Otis JB says, could you show us the 105? Don't know the loco. Yeah, sure. So let me come here, you. Right. Oh, it's separated itself. So the Class 105, £30, DCC fitted, second hand, and here she is. So there we are, and there are some people. So there, you just about see people in there. I think they're user replied, so to speak. It does run really well, but a bit of a faff to get it running because I'd have to lean right over the layout. So there we have it, and they've got a very particular front face there. But I do like my first generation DMUs, it has to be said. Flymo Chairman, Canadian Rail fan, is Via Rail the suburban... I've missed a comment there. Sam's Trains, ultimately it shouldn't matter what YouTube flags, for the most part you can revert their decision anyway. They're leaving the decision and the accompanying responsibility solely to creators. That's not entirely true, Sam's Trains. I have found that the algorithm will sometimes flag things up. It seems to be keywords used either in the title, the description, or the keywords itself. and it will make a random decision and usually demonetize that video. If you then appeal that, I've had it manually confirmed by an actual human being, and they just rubber stamp the decision. It's like, no, it isn't manually confirmed, because if you had looked at it, you'd realise that you're way off the mark on that. Now, it is true to say that our channel here did get demonetized for something that was not our fault. We were hit by a spam bot that basically clicked manically on adverts, and what we actually saw was a very strange peak in advertising revenue. We had 1 month where, and I'd just like to break into this to say, John O'Lee, a big thank you to you, who's just donated £1.99 on the super chat. Says it was great meeting me at Warley. Well, thank you very much. It was great meeting you too. And I'm really honoured that you've chosen to donate that money to me. That is really kind of you. So thank you very much for that. But yeah, just to go back, all we actually saw was a sudden spike off one video of ad revenue, and then what happened? Sorry, it's Jono. I'm getting confused. I thought it was somebody I met at Wallet. Yes, Jono today, who Zoe's been out filming with. Well, look, even bigger thank you. It was great to meet you, actually, and good to chat with you. And I did feel really humbled to find out that you watch my videos as well. So it's always nice to get feedback from people. But yeah, thank you very much for that. What was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch. So all we saw was this big spike off one video. We thought, well, what's going on there? And it was, what do they call it? A click fraud, they deemed it, even though it was a third-party channel that had been randomly, presumably through a software program, doing this. We got demonetized, and it was like talking to a brick wall. And we ended up taking Google to court. And believe me, taking Google to court is actually really difficult. They act very unreasonably. They're very difficult to contact. Very difficult to pin down even an address to serve papers on. But we did end up managing it, and it took us something like 18 months to sort that out. I mean, this is going back some. So just be warned, when Google makes an arbitrary decision, they make it as difficult as possible for you to challenge it. So, you know, I'm just putting that out there. That's what happened to us. We are remonetized because we won the court case, but even so, just be aware, Google can be very unreasonable. Warrington Train Spotter 2778. You should try and get a visit to Bachman HQ here in the UK. Watch this space. Is all I'll say to you. I have been talking to all of the manufacturers. One of the reasons I didn't get to see all of the layouts at Warley was I spent a lot of time. I'd been asked to go and talk to a number of manufacturers, and I made a point of going and saying hello to a number of others, trying to set up some arrangements whereby it might be possible to go and visit things like manufacturing facilities and also UK HQs and stuff. So, Tim's Trains. I'm just going to take time out to say a big thank you to Tim's Trains, who has donated £2. That is really kind of you. I feel absolutely honoured that you've chosen to do that. So thank you very much. I really do mean it. It does mean a lot to me that you guys appreciate my content. So big thumbs up there for that. Where was I up to? Oh yes. So I've talked to Bachman, and we're trying to set up some stuff on that as well. So hopefully there's going to be some more content, which is, I'm not going to say collaborative, but certainly working a little bit closer with Bachman. We're already doing a lot of stuff working closely with Hornby, also some of the other manufacturers like Curascale. Who else? I had a really good chat with Oxford Rail as well at Warley, and it was really interesting to talk to them, so hopefully we'll be able to do some more stuff there. Had a talk with Daypol as well, Helgen. So with any luck, there might be some more stuff coming. So watch this space. Hornby have definitely invited me down to Margate. Loosely, it depends, like lots of ifs, buts, maybes. So hopefully in the new year, because there's Christmas, it's always a bit manic, I'll be going down, get some filming done at Hornby in Margate. And one of the things that I would like to do, I know that they do the Signal Box YouTube channel. I myself have featured on that. And one of the things that you don't see on the Signal Box channel is the backdrop that's behind Michael. If you can actually ask him to move the camera, you can see the rest of the room, and it's really, really quite peculiar. It's almost like a film set. Once we finished recording, I did ask him, I said, so is that your office then? And he went, no, it's just like a set. And he just reached over, grabbed the camera, and shuffled it round and showed us the room. And it was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. So I'd love to actually get some footage of Michael filming footage for the Signal Box, a really sort of like meta thing going on. So, you know, something like that would be really good. Now, I'm conscious that there's loads of comments coming in. So I'm going to have a quick flick through. If I've missed a comment and you've asked a really, really stellar question, don't feel that I'm ignoring you. I'm not ignoring you. It's just simply a case of I've got to try and get back up to date. So if it's a question that's a really, really good quality, sensible question, do ask it again and I'll try and get round to it. But Vauxhall Railway says, enjoyed your Rails of Sheffield report, Jen. Thank you very much. Don't mention it. It was great to be able to get access to all areas. And one of the things I liked about interviewing John was he's very, very passionate about the hobby. And I think that does come across very well, not just in the tour, but in the interview that we did. It's very candid as well. It wasn't scripted, and that does come across really, really well. And it was just a pleasure to talk to John about rails, because that passion for the hobby really does shine through. So a big, big thanks to John. I know he does occasionally watch some of my videos, so a big, big thanks to you, and looking forward to being able to do some more with you in the near future. Oh, it's just jumped. The Birmingham train spotter says, what would you pay for a Bachmann warship? I think the going rate at the moment is about 80 something pounds. Hunt around, they do come up on sale an awful lot. Obviously you can buy second hand. I bought my example, which is I think it's D827 Kelly in BR Rail Blue, DCC factory fitted in one of the Hatton's fire sales. This is going back a good few years now. So they are available at a really good price. And actually, going back to Rails of Sheffield, at the moment in their sale, and they've got them in BR Green, BR Blue, and BR Maroon, and they're all the same price. It's something like, it's either 83 or 89 pounds, and that's about the cheapest that I've seen them brand new. But don't overlook second hand, and all I say is do support your local model shop, because a lot of local model shops do have a second hand section, and you can pick up some really good stuff. And so a big, big up to Tim at Arcadia Models in Shore, because he always has a really good, keenly priced second-hand table there. I was in there actually on Friday, and I was so tempted, but I knew I was going to be spending a lot of money at Warley, so I did feel a little pang of guilt to put the Class 20 that he had for, I think it was £50. Bachmann, 21-pin chassis, BR Rail Blue, Class 20, 50 odd pounds. It's like mint. I think it's like 2126 or something. And I was cruel to myself, really cruel. But you know, some of these places do have some really keenly priced to sell second-hand prices. Don't overlook that. I think I've suddenly ended I've ended up at the bottom of the chat. So if I missed a big chunk, I'm really sorry. Do ask your question again. I'm going to try and keep up to date now. So again, big thanks to those who donated. Currently on the screen, Tim's Trains is signed up. I know we had somebody. Whoa, Neil Sizer. A big, big thank you to you. Just donated £2. Wow, we're all go tonight. Thank you ever so much. I really do appreciate that. So a big, big thanks to Neil Sizer, Tim's Trains, and we did. I'm just going to scroll back. The blooming computer. And also John O'Leigh as well. So those are the three people who have very, very generously donated. And my computer is doing its own thing. Hello, come on. Hello, computer. Wakey, wakey. Oh, there we go. Right, there we go. James Pett says, you won a claim in court against Google. Well done. It wasn't easy, seriously. Whoa, Otis JB, a big thank you to you as well. Wow. Thank you very, very much. It's very much appreciated. Thank you very much for doing that. And all of your very, very generous donations do also help me make these videos, because I know a lot of people have said, oh, you accept review samples from manufacturers. I do, and I'm very open and honest about that, but I do also buy other stuff too, because the review samples that come through from manufacturers, not a huge amount, you know, yeah, it's really, really, I'm really grateful that they do send stuff, but there's a lot of stuff I do buy myself, and also some of the how-to videos as well. Some of the materials for that, generally speaking, I'm buying myself. So all of your very, very generous donations will go towards being able to make more of the videos that you love on this channel. So a big, big thank you for that. But yeah, beating Google in court was tough. There were a lot of times where we did consider giving up because it was so hard to actually reach anybody, but we did succeed, thus proving that you can take Google to court when they have genuinely done wrong. But it's not for the faint-hearted, it has to be said. The Don Juan, King Fox Junction. Where is Les tonight? He's just come back from Malvern, which I believe is where his daughter lives. So I think he's rocked up after probably trying to get his way through a horrible, rush hour traffic, which does mean that I don't blame him. You know, you just want to kick back in front of the TV, just relax. So he has been in the chat. He did say hello, but Les should be joining us here next week. Yeah, Neil Sizer, computer says no, Star Trek 4 reference. It very much was. I did have it in my head, Scotty going that, oh, keyboard, how quaint. Canadian Rail fan, hi Jen, sorry I'm late, I've been doing my Via Rail driver exam and I passed. Woohoo, well done to you, good for you. That's great news, so well done there. Mark Croucher, your views on copper, and we went all over this actually at the beginning of the video, and also Sam's Trains pops in. I don't know if Sam's Trains is still in the chat room, but certainly he swung by earlier on because I think because I'd mentioned because I didn't meet him. He was there on Saturday, I was there on Sunday, but there were some people there both days, so I got the information third hand, so he was just putting straight some of what people have been saying. But essentially, don't worry about copper unless you are making videos specifically aimed at children. It's as simple as that. So don't worry unnecessarily about it. Scott Malcolm, don't understand why people get mad if you get stuff for free. Just jealous, I guess. Possibly, yeah. We did also, oh my word, Combat Bunny has just very generously donated £1.99. A really big thank you to you. That is very, very much appreciated. So, again, everybody who's donating tonight, that is amazingly generous of you, and I really do appreciate that. And like I said before, any money donated goes towards being able to make more of the videos that you love. So big thank you, thumbs up for that. That is brilliant. Thank you very much. Combat Buddy said, just worked out how to send. Oh, thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. The Birmingham Train Spotter. LOL, I am getting the same blue warship. Richie Download Festival goes well, and Cheltenham Model Centre is okay in their second hand, but they seem to bring a lot of the second-hand stuff more than they get put on display. It's interesting actually. Rails of Sheffield has a lot more second-hand than they ever have even listed on their eBay shop, available in their actual bricks and mortar shop. And it's something that when we did the tour that I said, actually, if there's something specific that you want, give Rails a call and ask about it, and say, you know, just when you're hunting through your stock room, it's not catalogued, so, you know, don't be put off if they say we're not sure, we don't know, don't think we do, blah 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 blah. Don't be put off by that. They probably do have it somewhere, they just don't necessarily know how to immediately put their hands on it. But it's worth ringing up, leaving a message with them, and if you're prepared to wait, say, look, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, and have them keep an eye out for it. I'm sure they'll be more than willing to have a list, and when because they're currently planning on actually cataloguing all of this secondhand stuff, and they're going to have like a barcode system, so they can immediately get their hands on stuff, which is a much better way of doing it. Then I am sure they'll be prepared to, if they come across that stuff, they will basically call you back and go, we found what you wanted, are you still interested? So, I got, just one moment. Whilst I was there at the shop, it was mint in box, taking it out of the box. This is the 2007, very topical, 2007 Warley wagon, the Brotherton ammonia tanker. It's a Bachmann branch line super detail model, and this I got from Rails because I was very, very lucky to get the run of all the stock rooms guided tour with Adam and John from Rails. Big thank you to them. Excuse me. And I really couldn't turn this down when I spotted it in a big box of stuff. There was this, and there was also the Mantainer container wagon. It's actually just on a con flat in the box, but there's the container. This was the other wagon I got as well, which was a special commission for Model Rail, probably about 20 years ago. I just knew I had to have them. In fact, actually, the box had about 100, all special commissioned wagons from things like Warley Model Rail Club, Midland Railway Centre, Buffers in Axminster. There was a whole host, all special commissioned wagons. So if there is a rare wagon that you're after, do drop a line to Rails, because they may well have it, even if they don't have it listed. So let's find a little home for that now. There we go. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Otis JB1 donates. They all donate. Well, we'll have bought you a loco by the end of the night. Well, actually, that's interesting. If we get up to, I'm not fishing here. Like, don't get me wrong. I've seen some YouTube videos where people just like fish, like gimme, and I always feel almost embarrassed by that. At the end of the day, I never feel obliged to donate. It's a bit like tipping in restaurants. You always feel obliged, but if the service is rubbish, then really don't tip, because tips should be earned, not assumed. I don't know, I guess I tell you what, if we were to reach £100, say, not fishing for this, I'm not expecting this, I will let you guys pick what locomotive I buy with that money, and then I will do a box opening and review, and what I should try and do is make a note of all the people who donated on this, and then we'll do a video, and then we'll put a big thank you on the end to the people who donated to. Oh my word! Tim's Trains has just donated £50. I'm speechless. After watching GMRC and due to a terminal illness, had to rethink hobbies. After seeing GMRC and your YouTube channel, decided a new hobby. You got me back into trains. Wish I had got into trains years ago and loving it already. Got 10 locos. Thanks so much. You're absolutely welcome. I'm so happy that I've been instrumental in getting you into the hobby. And I know GMRC has been a big deal for so many people, but that is amazingly generous. I think off the back of that, you should pick which locomotive I end up buying. That is supremely generous. Thank you very much. And in fact, we need to find a way to, what scale do you model? Is it 00, N, O gauge? Because I do have a few, I've got stuff in N gauge and stuff in 00 that's been sent over by manufacturers. So I think that is such a generous donation. Maybe we should actually, maybe or alternative, maybe if you want to book, we'll find a way of, I think you can, Zoe, we'll find out how you can drop us your email, your address without actually telling everybody in the channel what your address is. And I think we really should send you a thank you for that. So Zoe, how do we, and what would be the best way of Tim's Trains being able to send his address so we can then send him something as a thank you for that?
Ask him to email you.
Which email address?
whichever you want. Jenny at jennifer-kirk.com.
We have okay, yeah. Tim's Trains. If you drop an email to Jenny at jennifer-kirk.com. Don't everybody do that, but you know, if you send us an email with your address, then I will send you out a signed copy of Twinkle.
Both your books.
Actually, both. Let's be generous. Both of these books, and if you want to, just put in the email. If you model, just having a look through Tim's Trains. Gauge. So if you wish, would you like, you have to paint him up, but this came through for review from Hardy's Hobbies, and I think it's only right that I offer it to you for such a generous donation. It's Isambard Kingdom Brunel, 3D printed figure. So if you want, I can bung that in with these as well. If you want that, and I think the only other stuff I've got is N-Gauge. But yeah, certainly, I'd be happy to pass those on to you. That is a really generous donation. Thank you ever so much for that.
Thank you.
And if we do get to the £100 mark, then I think it's only fitting that you, Tim, should be picking which locomotive you want to see me buy and review. But thank you ever so much for that.
And call it Tim's Train.
Yeah, it'll become known colloquially as Tim's Train. But thank you very much for that. But like I say, drop an email to Jenny, spelt Jenny, at Jennifer-Kirk, and that's K-I-R. Whoa. Combat Bunny has just donated $48.99. Oh my god. Combat Bunny has just donated $48.99. Oh my, I feel like I'm in some kind of parallel universe. That is amazing. Thank you very much for that. I think Combat Bunny, would you like some books as well? Again, drop your address to that address, Jenny at jennifer-kirk.com, and we'll get a pair of books in the post to you as well as a big thank you for that. Thank you ever so much. Wow.
My goodness.
So we're 108. Okay, great. So Tim's Trains, which train should I be buying with that to review? Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, but Combat Bunny as well. I mean, that's a very generous donation. I think maybe we should flip a coin between the two of you, or maybe you'll both agree on something. This is the most amazing live stream I've ever done. Zoe's gobsmacked back there. Leslie Gilpin says sounds like someone is realizing she's a star. Yeah, I guess I mean my personal preference. I know a lot of people have said we talked about the Class 47. Class 47, Class 42. I don't know. Just give me suggestions. I really am lost for words. But yeah, I Like Transport says, I know it has no impact, but I think it should be a Hatton 66. Well, I guess it's down to the two people who've donated ever so generously tonight. So guys, yeah, I'm just looking back through. Is anybody suggested? Wow, that is amazing. So, any suggestions from you guys? LNER Green B12. Oh, that is a good choice actually as well. Otis JB. But no, it's over to Tim's Trains and.
I'll leave you to it.
Wow, I'm just trying to scroll up again, and Combat Bunny and Tim's Trains. Wow. Yeah, thank you. I Like Transport. Is it corporate man? Yeah, cheerleader. But yeah, books are available. You can just buy them. But definitely, you two guys, that is so generous. I will send you those books. If you send me your address, I will send you the books. Leslie Gilpin says, perhaps a fell, and I don't think they're going to be out for a while. Oh, I've ended up scrolled up to... Come on, let me have the most recent comments. Combat Bunny Law, first time I've seen you speechless. Thank you very much. Tim's Trains. How about a Helgen 1300 class 1361? Okay, you're on, because I happen to know that Rails of Sheffield are going to be, I think that's the one, I could be wrong, but Rails of Sheffield, I think that's the model that's, I might get told off for telling you this, but I know it's a Helgen model. It's the steam locomotive, the little tank locomotive, but they're going into a mega sale, possibly the end of this week. So if that is the model, then boom, we're in there. But wow, yeah, Tim's Trains. That is a really, really good idea. I will look into that. Yeah, because like we got £108 in the kitty. That should be more than enough, I think. But I am genuinely speechless. I honestly don't know what to say. Thank you very much. Gosh, don't know what to say. Oh, thank you ever so much. What should we talk about? But thank you very much. I feel ever so humbled. It's been amazing tonight. It really has. We're going to get those books sent out. We get the addresses. And don't worry, Brockwell Lane. It's like I always say, you don't have to donate a penny. I don't expect people to donate stuff, which I think is probably why I get so emotional and like embarrassed a little bit when people do. You know, I started this channel probably about 10 years ago, and when people ask me how do you get big in YouTube, and I really don't know, because with this channel I'm doing something that I love and would probably have been doing anyway, even if there was no subscribers on this channel. So I feel so humbled to know so many people are interested in what I have to say. I really am lost for words here, but look, Leslie Gilpin says, Zoe, you need to be filling in here. Jenny needs a hug. Well, I feel like I've been given one huge hug by the community here. This has just been an amazing live stream, and yeah, so that the Helgen 1361, I will track down any particular livery. I really should ask you guys. I believe that's the one that they did it in photographic grey, Great Western green, and BR black. I believe I've seen that in, and actually it is a model that I've always loved the idea. Did you the news about? Tim Davies says, did you hear the news about Tuba in London today? No, I haven't actually. I've been a bit out of the loop today because I've been filming content for later this week. I am speechless. No, I'm curious, but Flymo Chairman 1 says, you make a dreary Monday evening fun as well as the rest of the videos. Thank you very much. I mean, I've been completely out of the loop today. Zoe tells me off if I tell you what I've been filming, because she says somebody else will be somebody else will pip you to the post. But there's a number of new. I'm looking over there. You can't see them, but down there, there's a whole load of stuff to review, which I have bought myself. In fact, all of these reviews are things that I bought myself, because I'm very, very conscious that. See, my thoughts on the it's going back to the review samples. Yes, manufacturers do send through some samples, but in many respects I don't have a lot of control over what they do send. It's kind of, beggars can't be choosers. But something that I have on my personal wish list that I know that I'd buy whether or not it was offered as a sample. I believe morally I must buy that commercially from a shop. So the next couple of weeks, what you'll find is that the stuff that I'll be reviewing is stuff that I have bought because I really did want it. So there's some new stuff come out from Hornby, which they didn't, as it happened, offer a review copy. I didn't ask for a review copy, and I felt that I would be morally bankrupt if I asked for a review copy, because I knew I desperately wanted that model, so I have sourced them from model shops. So we've been filming all of that today, so I really don't know what's been going on. Christopher Evans, fantastic year again at Warley Model Railway. 2 days, just got home about 1 hour ago. Spent loads of money, I know that feeling well, and loads of bargains, and did see you there, and sorry not to speak to you. Don't worry about it. I know it's so busy, and a lot of the time there'd be kind of people who come and say hello, and I am aware of other people sort of flitting around, and either a bit nervous to approach you. Don't worry about it. I'm just as scared as you are about life, the universe, and everything. So don't worry about that. And what I found early on in my life was that a lot of these people that you see on TV, obviously I'm not comparing myself to them, they're just thoroughly top people in real life. They're not people to be scared of at all. So like Tony Robinson, meeting him, because he worked obviously with my sister for like 10, 12 years, thoroughly top people, and actually when you approach and talk to them, it's just fine. And actually I'll tell you my Warley story. I was walking through the hall, and there was a kid, can't have been more than 8 or 9 years old, and he's like being dragged along by the family. Like, come on, we need to like go and do this and that. And they didn't see me, but the little kid was looking at me like, oh, Telly. And I looked over and I smiled at the kid and I went, hi there, how are you doing? And after I had a little bit of a spring in my step, because I felt like I'd kind of, for that kid, it's like the kind of memory that in 20 years time, maybe that kid would tell that story that I saw Jenny Kirk at Warley, and my mummy and daddy didn't believe me, but Jenny Kirk went, hi, how are you doing? And I think that's very important. I am aware that I'm slowly sort of rotating into the public sphere, as it were, and I think it's very important to give something back in terms of accessibility, being able to talk with people at shows, because if people are going to watch my YouTube channel, are going to actually consume the videos that I produce, then I owe them to talk to them, to speak to people at shows. I think that's really important for any YouTuber, and certainly for myself, it's the playbook I work from. And even, if you were to come across me in the street, I have met some people, I don't know whether you're in the live stream, but I have met people all over the country based on YouTube work and TV work, and before that, book writing work. Hell, I got recognised by Lenny Henry. Backstory on that. He'd met me at a book signing. It was my book signing in Preston. He was just a thoroughly great bloke. Had a good long chat with him, and then he remembered me when I met him at Bottlebank Studios when I was working for PKE Lighting, delivering stuff for where they were filming Broadchurch. And he remembered me, and that meant so much to me. What I took away from that was just kind of nice that he had the time for somebody like me, and I like to think that that's something that I can do as well. Is that Dutch? Can you? Dutch is very similar to German, and I did kind of get the gist of that, even though I don't speak Dutch. Shawbridge Junction. I was proud you sat at my table on Sunday lunchtime. Oh wow! You should have said hello. Or was it because there was with the people who said it? Yes. I do remember. I was eating the chips. I was there with. That was Will Jarman, who you might recognise from Biggest Little Railway, and Will Jarman's son Harvey. So yeah, it was great to meet people. So yeah, brilliant. It's such a small world, isn't it? But yeah, it was all great to speak to you all. Flymer Chairman, it was. Yeah, I got the gist. The thing about Dutch is it's quite similar to. It's similar enough to German that if you speak and understand German, you can kind of get the gist of the. It's like that kind of connection to English sort of thing. Leslie Gilpin. The chips were DCC prices at Wall. Yeah, £3.50 for the little tiny thing of chips. It's like I could get the entire bag of oven chips. That's what you get at venues. It's one of the ways that the venue makes their money. Commercial enterprise goes to the territory. If I'd have had if Wurzel had had his thinking head on, I'd have brought sandwiches with me. But I didn't think that far ahead. It has to be said. Richie Download Festival goer, hi Jen, your channel has inspired me and helping me with model railway and giving me great ideas and tips in modelling. Thank you for inspiring me. You're absolutely welcome. And I do feel humbled that people take stuff away from what I'm doing in my videos and apply that to their own modelling. And I always say to people, and it's something that I'm glad that came across in GMRC, that confidence is what you need. You need to believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything. And you know, all of the model that you see in here, all the videos that you've seen of the progress on Weiryard, building various model railways, you know, I'm self-taught pretty much. You know, gleaned a few bits and pieces out of Railway Modeler back in the day, but a lot of stuff is experimentation. I know Les Cliff is very similar to me in that respect. And you know, you have the confidence to just experiment, to try new things, then actually you'll get a really great effect. What tends to stop people is their own self-doubt, and you know, you shouldn't let that happen, because you can do things to an amazingly high standard. You just got to let yourself have the chance. And what I've been trying to do actually on the channel with a lot of videos is to show people how to do even quite basic stuff, quite complex stuff as well. Because when I started out railway modelling, what used to annoy me is I can remember reading the Railway Modeler, and they'd have an article, and then it would say like, "Hey, so we ballast the track in the usual method," and it's like, tell me, I don't know what this usual method was. Or they'd reference like the 1953 edition of Model Railway Constructor for the method, yeah, as outlined by the Pritchard Smith method, and it's like, tell us, some of us don't know. And that used to infuriate me. So nowadays when I do videos, I try and give as much detail as I can, because I know that for a lot of people out there, even what appears to me and to a seasoned modeler perhaps as a very trivial detail, almost obvious, may not be for somebody else. And I think that is the secret to this hobby, making it accessible. What else have we got here? Yeah, timber surf. Yeah, you had your thinking head on. It always takes sandwiches. And I stopped at a co-op on the way, and I actually got my breakfast there, and I didn't think to buy anything for lunch. And last year, actually once I was at the venue and hungry, I remembering last year, like, oh, next year maybe I should bring something with me. I like to transfer. Oh yes, as with Dragon Junk, yeah, there's a lot of good YouTubers doing videos. It's not just me, and I think some people assume that YouTubers have this like, oh, they're the enemy, they're the competition, and it's not the case actually. There's some great channels out there, and is it Mouldy Raspberry does videos? They're doing like a North Yorkshire Moors themed railway in the loft, and the scenery on that is amazing. You have to go and watch that channel as well. Dragon Junction as well, go watch that. New Junction, some amazing modelling stuff going on there too. Cottesmore too. There's a lot of good content out there, and what I found, not just with model railways, but with, you know, car mechanics, DIY, there's always a video on YouTube that shows you how to do something. That's what I love about YouTube, that all the information is there. I love that. And you know, I do sometimes watch other channels. Is it Graham Folston? Watch his channel as well, and getting ideas. And you know, ideas are currency in model railways, and sometimes it's lovely to see somebody else's model railway and go, I like what they've done there, I could do that, and then giving it a go. And you know, I think that's how the hobby grows. So you know, it very much has that lovely community feel. Leslie Gilpin, I had my first YouTuber, well, first and second, visit my layout last week. Was really difficult at the comments they made. Forgot to film the event though. Yeah, I mean, I think the only Les Cliff has obviously been here. Brian Long has seen this. Cottesmore has been up here. So I think Cottesmore's the only big YouTuber, well, certainly the person who makes content on YouTube who has been up here. I'm trying to think anybody else has. There's not that many people actually visited Weiryard. I tend to be quite a private-y sort of a person. And, yeah, behind the mask, there's 10 things that you didn't know about Jenny. Jenny's favourite food is lasagna. You may have occasionally seen the Cupboard Monkey bring a plate of lasagna. I love lasagna. I'm like Garfield. But in terms of private-y stuff, I won't even tell people where I live because I'm frightened. I'll open the curtains one morning and there'll just be people out there going, Jenny, we love you. Maybe that's a bit egotistical, but no, I think it's probably fairly sensible. But yeah, no, I should some of the big Patreons as well. Maybe at some point I should work something out. I know we talked about next year maybe doing the Jenny Monday Club garden party for the higher level Patreons and stuff. But yeah, I want to do more collaboratively with other YouTubers. I think that is a good way to go. So, New Junction, if you're watching, Sam's Trains, if you're watching, we should hook up and do something. Leslie Dickinson, people want modelling tips and simple to understand terms, and channels like yours, Jenny, are a real boon. Thank you very much. It's certainly something that I'm aiming for. I like to explain it in an easy to understand way because I get infuriated with what I describe as like the Haynes Workshop Manual method of describing things. Now, anybody who, I know they're not really a big thing anymore, but certainly back in the day before the internet, if you wanted to know how your car worked for repairing it, say, then one of the things that you tend to get was the Haynes Owner's Workshop Manual, and they were a nightmare because you'd read the section on repairing the bit you were trying to repair, and you'd still be none the wiser. And I didn't want to make that kind of a mistake. I thought that it's not accessible. If you give somebody like a how-to guide to repair something and they still don't know what the hell you were talking about at the end, then you've done something wrong. So there we are. I Like Transport says, I would like to see Weir Yard, but I bet that's not possible. If you get to know me, you'll eventually get to come up here. I tend to be very when I was best-selling author, back I had a brief run of a couple of years where I wasn't like a Premier Division author, but certainly I sold well enough to make a living out of it. Had an agent, he retired, never managed to replace him. I did get stalkers. I had a couple, and that did scare me a little bit. I'm not saying that you guys are going to be stalkers, but you never know. But yeah, certainly, I guess having visitors is something I would like to do, actually. I think I should do something collaboratively with other YouTubers. So, yeah. So what else have we got? Yeah, Curio by Bespoke Designs. Haynes manuals were a rip-off. They were 95% generic and only 5% specific to your car. It also has to be said that a lot of the Haynes manuals, they didn't even pertain to your actual car. They didn't update them enough. So, for example, the car I rebuild at the moment, Volvo 850. The manual I've got pertains to the pre-1995 model, but claims to be good for all the way to the 1997 model. But the Mark II 850, aka the post-facelift Mark 850, has a few detail changes. That means if you follow the Haynes manual, you will be lost at sea. And that's where the internet really came in. Curio by Bespoke Designs. I know where you live. I used to work just around the corner. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of you do know where I live, actually. John O'Lee, actually, was the first person who donated on the Super Chat. He was here earlier today. I'm noting there's other messages flashing on the screen which you guys can't see. So I believe Combat Bunny has been in touch with Zoe. So if Zoe hasn't seen it, I think there's some messages coming through. So Zoe, if you I'll certainly make sure that we deal with all of that after the live stream, because at the moment I'd have to do it on my phone, which I'm using for the live stream. John A. Dawson, hi Jenny, ever thought of doing the video chats with other YouTubers with layouts on your Monday chat stream. Yeah, I had Cottesmore here the other week. It was great to have Dave Jones, aka Cottesmore, here. I'd have invited, I can't remember whether it's Jack or Dave. One of the two lives in Bury, actually, which is just like really quite close here. So there is an open invite to him, and it's just a case of, you know, schedules meeting up. But certainly I do want to do more collaborations. The problem is, excuse me, YouTubers tend to be spread out. I mean, I know that some of you guys are in New Zealand, in America, in Canada, all over Europe, Sweden as well. So there's a lot of you guys all over the world. So it's a case of getting us in the right location at the right time. But certainly, yeah, we're going to have to start. I'm going to have to start thinking about doing collaborations. Just to get it on the record, really keen to do collaborations with other YouTubes. I'm checking the account for Mr. Bunny's address. Yeah, so the Combat Bunny has sent a message, so you might have to look in my messenger for that. But we're going to sort that out, and we're going to get the goodies sent out. So, oh, they're upside down. So, and also in your email, do let me know if you want them signing or unsigned, or if you want a message in them, or you can even have them made out to somebody for Christmas. So you know, like a nice Christmas gift for somebody else. Yeah, Class 68s. I hear a lot of people saying about the Class 68s they really like them, and I can see why. And it's quite good in a way that we're finally getting some different motive power, just from the pure aesthetic point of view. Yeah, I'm growing to like some of the more modern stuff a little bit, sort of. But are we having a problem with trolls? Yes, I like transport. Hey, you are good. I like transport. I like you. You're a great cheerleader. We should get Jenny Kirk livery cheerleader uniforms maybe from the shop. That has lots of connotations. Actually, there's a place in Macclesfield that does custom cheerleading uniforms. I suspect I probably do not have the physique anymore. I would look really stupid in a cheerleader outfit. James Pets, Jennifer Kirk, what was your favourite layout at Warley? I have to be honest and say I didn't get to see most of the layouts. It was really quite sad. There was a narrow gauge one which looked really good. Didn't catch its name. What else? Bucolic Britain, actually. I did get to see that, and I think that was one that I kind of went to Warley thinking, yeah, if you see only one layout, that was one that I really, really wanted to. Gamehammer Classic Gaming, aka the Cupboard Monkey, has just put an email on screen to zoe@zoerobinson.com. If you send her an email, then she'll get your details so we can send stuff out. J. Paul Anderson, I'm happy for you, Jenny, that you got some proper donation site. Well, thank you very, very much. Who else have we got? Peter Lee. Big shout out for my Peter Lee posse. Ian Ryan, good evening from Peter Lee. Good to have you in. Yeah, James Patch, narrow gauge layouts are really good. There's some really nice O gauge ones as well. They're like shunting planks. I also saw... what was it? Oh, what's the name of it? It's going to really bug me now. Somewhere on the south coast. It featured in the railway model. I've got a suspicion that the guy who built it many years ago got a copy of the railway modeler article about Parkstone sidings, Parkstone Quay, something like that. I know somebody did get a photocopy of the railway modeler article from me quite a few years ago through RM Web, but it's nice to see that one as well. Tim's Trains, Jenny, I've emailed some of my details. Brilliant. Ian Ryan, sorry for late arrival, just got ahead. Don't worry, you can catch up on the full stream If you like, once it's all done, it goes up as like a permanent video on the Tube of Views. J. Paul Anderson, what about that layout representing the GWR stretch out of Bath, I believe? Wasn't that at Warley this year? I'm not entirely sure. I missed so many layouts, which, looking back, is a bit gutting, really. You know, you go to Warley, you pay for the parking, you pay to get in, and then you don't see many layouts. But I was primarily there to meet up with other YouTubers. So Sam's Trains, if you're still in the live stream, would love to do some collaborations with you if you're up for that. New Junction as well. I'm up for some collaborations. Dragon Junction, if you're interested, we'll do some collaborations. There's other people as well I met there. It's grand. We should do something. And I think that's, you know, the community feel with YouTube. You know, we shouldn't. I certainly don't see us all as competitors. We shouldn't see each other as competitors. We're doing this for the good of the hobby. So I'd love to do some stuff. New Mills Model Railway. Anything running on the layout tonight? No, I've really neglected that. Let me have some beer. Right, let's get something running. Yeah, let's get Loco 14. Woo! That's gone on like a gazelle. I'm not going to get too much running because the noise might start to drown things out a bit. I'm going to remove the Class 105. £30 from actually Derry Phone Nightingale. He was on the stand where they were selling the Burco signals with Alex Croft and the videos. Oh, he's going to kick me because I can't remember the name of his company. But Derry Phone Nightingale was selling this, and I got it for 30 squids, DCC fitted, with people in. It's a Bachmann Class 105, and it just goes to show bargains are there to be had. And if you, we did have Derry Phone Nightingale as a guest on an earlier live stream where he did actually talk about sourcing reasonably priced model railway items. So I'll put them down there for now. I'm not going to mess about trying to fit it back into the fiddle yard underneath. So look, Timber Surf, count me out. I'm camera shy. Oh, don't worry about that. You can hide behind the camera if you want. I used to be camera shy. In fact, actually, when I was at university, I don't know, can we see when it comes past? Yeah, there, you can just about see that. So we've got a Hornby J50 going round with some wagons. Let's put this is the Warley 2007 wagon. Yes, there were, somebody did actually, I've just remembered, I forgot to answer. Yes, there were some specially commissioned Warley wagons, as there always is, from Bachmann. No, I didn't buy any because I heroically failed. I got distracted when I went over to the stand, and then I got talking to somebody and got distracted. But when it comes around, I'm going to put the 2007 Warley Club, lost my words now, the Warley Club wagon that they had for the 2007 model railway show. I'm going to stick that on the back of this. In fact, no, let's do it properly. Oops. Grind. So that tanker wagon's now on there. Let's have a look. Well, no, you don't. Don't escape. Oh, it's all gone a bit Pete Tong. Lord Pete of Tong. Why has that come off? That is really annoying. Just talk amongst yourselves. Oh, come on. Why is that derailed? There we go. Right, anyway, yeah, it's Hornby J50 if anybody's interested. And it's actually currently still in the range. It's the departmental number 14, which was, it's actually one of the goodies left over from GMRC. So yeah, I did come away from GMRC with a couple of new locos. Well, wouldn't you? Let's have a look. Yeah, Flymo Chairman 1, that's a jammy score there, £30 DCC fitted. I have heard lots of stories of people picking up amazing bargains at shows. I have had a few myself. Another thing I actually had was the Pico Switch consoles with the little switches in. The switches themselves are about £4 or £5 each, and I got 2 banks of 6 in the consoles for £1 at one show. Couldn't believe my luck with that. But yeah, the bargains can be there if you hunt around. Usually have a good rummage, and actually at the end of the final day sometimes you'll find that there's some good bargains to be had as traders that are just thinking about packing up. They're open to offers, so you know it doesn't happen all the time. It's actually very rare that I get a bargain like that, but it's nice when it happens, is it not? Curio by Bespoke Designs. I did my first video with my face on camera last week. I deleted it straight away. I'll be honest with you, I was very camera shy at first as well. Again, it comes with practice, don't worry about it. Somewhere in the vaults of Granada Television, my very first TV appearance was with Fred Talbot. Yes, him, the kid, him of Kiddie Fiddler fame. We didn't know at the time. I was on, he used to have a thing, I think it was about 2000, 2001, going out and about, and I filmed a thing with him at Kirk, at the Cumbria Steam Fair, and taught him how to drive a steam road locomotive. And they interviewed me, and I was mortified, and they luckily didn't use that interview, but you can in some of the other shots see me looking like a rabbit in car headlights, and you know, my mum recorded it, so it now has to have a VHS tape with it on, and I really cringe when I see that. But you know, practice makes perfect. Combat Bunny, email sent. Boom! Oh, I shouldn't do that, it's a bit suggestive. But like, boom! So, we're going to be having these on the way, and just to reiterate to everybody else that Tim's Trains and Combat Bunny were amazingly generous, donating through the Super Chat, around £50 each. It was just unreally amazing. It left me speechless. It takes a lot to make me speechless. But in recognition of that, we're going to be sending you out some books. And also because we reached and beached the target of £100. It wasn't really a target, I'll be honest. I sort of jokingly said £100. We're going to be getting, the suggestion was a Helgen 1361 tank locomotive, and I'll be doing a full-on review of that when I get it. And also I'm going to put on the title end card a big thanks to Tim's Trains and Combat Bunny for making that possible. So that will henceforth be known as Tim's Train and Combat Bunny's Train. So boom, thank you very much for that. And yeah, I'm just absolutely amazed. I thank you. Curio by Bespoke Designs. I was on Granada Men and Motors in 2000. It's on YouTube. I'm horrified. I know it is scary actually when you look back. I auditioned for QVC in 2000 or 2001. So it was after I'd done that thing with Granada. And the audition tape was pick an item and sell it. And I still have that on VHS tape. I've got the VHS tape of it. And it's cringe-worthy to me, but occasionally I put it on and look at it and think, oh my god. But, Ian Ryan, is it possible to replace a mashed nylon drive gear on an old 040 thingy because the nylon gear is mashed? The worm screw won't turn the drive gear. It depends on what manufacturer. You might be able to get a replacement. I know Bachmann do spares. Hornby do some spares. I can't remember the company that tends to. I think is it Peter's Spares online. Worth shopping around. You can get spare gears, or if it's Helgen might be a bit tricky, but certainly you should possibly be able to get a spare part. Or alternative, I can hear that's just come off the track. That's a bit annoying. I'll sort that when it comes around if it doesn't crash and burn before it gets around here. Check out eBay. Is another good place to. Oh no, it made it through. eBay is another good place to look for spare parts. Can be repaired, but you're probably finding that the original gear will effectively be scrap, and you're going to have to replace it. James Pets. I was on television once. I was an extra in Trigger Happy TV in 2001. dressed as a panda. Tell me more. This sounds like a story that must be told. If it's anything like my sister's claim to fame, is that she was well, she has many claims to fame because she works in television. She's a producer. But back in her early days when she worked as a runner and researcher, she did I can't even remember what the series was. She was a runner on a thing, and they needed people for an historical reenactment, and it basically meant having 4 people dressed up like hoity-toity Victorians sat around a table having a dinner party as part of the backdrop for this historical program. And instead of hiring actual extras, they just got the runners to down to central casting to the where you get costumes, fitted them out looking like Victorians, and then filmed them because they basically didn't have to pay the going rate. So my sister actually appears, one of her earliest TV appearance is as a Victorian lady in a historical thingy. Neil Sizer, time for a cup of tea. You may be having a cup of tea. I'm having a beer. Am I even online? Am I online? It went all weird. I had the spinning beach ball of death for a bit. Am I back? Let's have a look. Let's get the axle. The axle pin out. James Betts, I joined an internet group of Trigger Happy TV fans years ago when at bar school they needed a whole lot of people dressed as various fluffies. They used one of those in their Christmas special in 2001. I had trouble with the costumes, I had to hold my head on and ended up near the back. Also, we seem to have lost video. I think we're Wheels of Death. Are we back? Are we back? It's only worth £2, but I'd like to get it. I'm back. Dragon Junction. Yay. Ian Ryan, you locked up from... Yeah, it's weird. It's Shorebridge Junction. You're back. Breaking up. Dropped us a bit. I'm... That's right, Mr. Bigglesworth. We're back. Right. We're back. We're good. We're golden. Right. Oh, excuse me. There's a lot of gas. Oh, gas. Right, where were we? Ah, yes. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Yeah, Warley is one that I said last year that it was one that, even though I went for a full day, got there early access ticket, got in through the door as soon as it opened, and then left when they kicked us all out. You still don't get to see everything. And that's even without doing what I was doing, which was a lot of meet and greet, YouTube modelling group, met up with them, great bunch of people. Love to do more with you guys. Do let me know how I officially join and get myself on the map. I'd love to do that. And I was also dealing with manufacturers and stuff, but you really need 2 days to see everything. It's unreal. What I found was I did a lot of filming that year, filmed a lot of layouts, made I think 3 videos worth of stuff. And then I saw other people's videos, and there was stuff like, I don't remember that layout. So I think two whole days you need to see everything at Warley. Neil Sizer, someone put 10 bob in the meter. Well, actually, Combat Bunny and Tim's Trains put an awful lot in the meter earlier on. Trying to steer clear from the who put 50p in the Wally. Otis JB, welcome back. Right, anywho, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was playing Trains. I'm sorry, I'm slightly drunk now. I'm elated that so many people gave me donations on the Super Chat function. Didn't have to, but did, and that was amazingly generous of you all. Oh, is that Ian Ryan? If this has not been asked before tonight, how did the War of the Worlds layout go? It's currently in my conservatory, racked and stacked for storage for the winter. Hopefully it's going to another venue. I need to do some final negotiation on that. but we do have plans for a slightly more permanent home for it where it can be used and displayed. Leslie Gilpin, I think the only way to see everything at Warley is to tick off each layout as you see it and ignore the trade. Not that I followed my own advice. Oh, you can't ignore the trade. I got so much. I dread it. I still haven't dared add up how much I spent. Too much. That's what I spent. Otis JB, would you ever consider attempting a Loco kit and making a series on it? Now, I must be honest, making Locos and rolling stock is not my cup of tea. I have built ratio wagon kits and Parkside Dundas wagon kits in the past. Didn't enjoy making them and felt that the end result wasn't as good as I would have got from a ready-to-run wagon. So I did feel that it wasn't for me. The idea of building a locomotive kit fills me with dread. So one of the things that I always say in this hobby is if there's something that you don't enjoy doing and there's just no way that you can kind of get your head around that and you think, oh, I would just hate every second of that. And, you know, I've given it a go with those ratio kits and the Parkside Dundas kits. And my view is that if you don't enjoy doing it after you've tried doing something like that, then, you know, the hobby's supposed to be fun. Find somebody else who can do it for you or find a way around it. And that's not a bad thing. It's not something to be ashamed of. But I guess that that I'm going to say no, I wouldn't do a locomotive kit building series. I don't think I'd do it justice. There's so many much better builders of these things. I always marvel at the skill that some people have to build these things. I know Melanie, who's been a guest on this channel as well, she makes a lot of her own rolling stock and actually she's amazing at it. I'm always in awe of her skills. Ian Ryan, I am wanting some Daypole wagon and tanker kits off centre. Are they any good? Again, I've never built them, but they look okay. In fact, one that Melanie built for me, this is the, I don't know if that's the Daypole flat roll kit made up. I didn't make that, it has to be said, but they seem okay kits, really do. Oh, trying to fit that in around the trees. There we go. Come on, get on the track. There we are. And also, actually, interestingly enough, I don't know what make these are. I bought them ready-made and finished. I just thought they were such a good quality. Let's have a look underneath. Is there anything that tells me the manufacturer? No, there isn't. I'm not actually sure which manufacturer these are, but I didn't build them. I bought them second-hand from a model shop. And I just thought they were so well done. I would bag them and tag them. So there are some great kits out there on the market, but it's just, in all honesty, it's not my cup of tea. How is Mel from GMRC? Have you spoken to her since the show? Yeah, Melanie I've spoken to a lot. She was at Warley. I guess some of you may have spotted her on the Sunday as well. She's doing fine, very, very busy. I do see Mel from time to time. We've known each other now about 15, 16 years. So we get on really, really well. She sometimes comes with me as my +1 for doing model railway exhibitions as well when she's available. So yeah, she's doing grand and hoping to get her back on the Monday Club live stream as well at some point. Tim Davis, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. No, not the comfy chair. And then we move cake or death. Oh, I'll have cake, please. Okay, give him cake. Cake or death. I'll have cake. So we're out of cake. So the choices are or death. Yes, we didn't think this through. We didn't realise it was going to be so popular. Actually, no, that's Eddie Izzard, isn't it? Yeah, Dragon Junction, go Sundays, no hassle. Somebody said something, I did ooh, what's going on there? I've missed I've caught it in the corner of my eye. Come on, scroll. You know, I treated this computer earlier today to a gigabit network card to replace its 10100, and I swapped out a half gig DIMM for a 1 gig DIMM, thus increasing its total memory by 25%, and I've seen no difference in performance. Viaduct Central Model Railway. Hi Jen, did you enjoy the MRYCG meetup? Yes, I did. Very, very much so. And I'd love to do some more stuff with you guys. Please, 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 if any of you guys are watching, let me know how I officially join the group and get on the actual map thing that I was shown. I would love to be a part of that. So yeah. Richie, download festival going on, wanting a rake of Daypole, IOA, Network Rail Wagons and Hattons, Railhead Treatment Train weathered, a new locomotive from Santa. Yeah, I want loads from Santa. Whether or not I think it might go ho ho ho. You're too old. Otis JB, will you be adding any clouds to your back scene? I can recommend using a sponge and stamping them on, blending in different shades of light blue, greys and white. Yes, got plans for that. Les Cliff is going to help me out because he's an amazing artist. If you've seen any of his work, it is just unreally good. And it's like magic. He just sort of like with a paintbrush, and the amazing stuff just appears like magic. It is unbelievable to watch. But he's promised me he's going to do me a custom back scene. So literally watch this space. Dragon Junction says Facebook, Jenny. Right, I must track you all down on there then. Yeah, MRYCG is on Facebook. Right, no worries. I will try and remember to get that done after the live stream. Shawbridge Junction, yeah, Facebook. I like transport. Albatross. I know a model shop called Albatross. I know a Fleetwood Mac track called Albatross, and apparently they were so stoned and drunk when they recorded it, they have no recollection of writing or recording that song. So the story goes. Right, now Cupboard Monkey, if you're watching, I could really do with some more of that dessert. I'm getting the munchies now. Robert Scott, Within Junction. I kept being pushed out of the way. I feel sorry for the kiddies who were there. There were a few people who were a little bit lacking in social skills, pushing their way through the crowds. But actually on the Sunday, I thought that there was a lot of families there, and it was actually quite well behaved. Although I did get short shrift, and I'm going to say this because I thought it was a little bit mean the way that they were. One of the trade stands, admittedly it was after 5 o'clock on the Sunday. They'd started packing up, and because I'd been so busy, I hadn't quite got round to them. And they had some TTS sound chips for a really good price, actually, £34.50. And I quite politely said, is it too late to buy one of these? And the gentleman actually, he was like, well, I don't see why not. But the lady behind the stand was a bit short with me. But, no, it's after 5. We're packing up, too late. And I thought, okay, fair enough. But, do you not want to sell it? Whoa. Donald Thompson has just donated £10 on the Super Chat. Oh, well, thank you very much, dude. Donald Thompson, that is incredibly generous of you. Thank you very much for that. Hi, Jenny. I packed up modelling the UK theme years ago and went to the dark side, USA. I only model according to rule number 1. Like it, run it. That is the best way to do it. Like your chat most of the time. Oh, well, thank you very much. It's a bit low down. Most of the time. Yes, I don't like it when you get drunk and start talking about fart jokes. But thank you very much for that. It's very much appreciated. Gosh, you've all been very, very generous tonight. I'm so humbled. But actually, there's a lot to be said for US modelling. And back in the day, before the internet was a big thing, in the late 90s, I actually switched my allegiance from railway modeller to continental modeller. And the reason for that was, in part, the quality of some of the US HO model railroaders, and I just thought that some of their techniques were just so far ahead of what people were doing in the UK at the time that I learnt an awful lot from American railroad hobbyists, more so than I did from the UK market. And I like to think, and it's something actually as well, the Woodland Scenics range Woodland Scenics was an American company. And I love those products. I've been talking to Backman, who own Woodland Scenics, about, or if they don't own them, they distribute for them, about doing some guide videos, like making dioramas with Woodland Scenics products, just to show A, how easy it is, and B, how versatile these products are. And they're quite receptive to that idea. So, I'm going to follow that up. But essentially, those Woodland Scenics products are what the American railroaders are using. And they're great products. And I'm saying this from the point of view of somebody who's bought an awful lot. I've done the how-to guide on the trees. They were a Woodland Scenics product. I do really like them for their ease of use. But yeah, Donald Thompson, thank you so much for that generous donation. And yeah, I'm right with you actually. I like the American railroad stuff. And oh no, we go. Oh no, come on, wakey wakey little train. I think we've got dirty wheels. Oh, we're going again. Let's just clean that bit of track just in case. But yeah, one of the things that I would really love to try is doing an American layout. Even if it's just like a diorama or like a shunting layout or something. I love the idea of some of these little American short lines. You know, really run down, like, you know, like one old locomotive and a couple of box cars winding its way through some really almost quite unfeasible track. And I love that idea, so there's a lot to be said for US modelling. Otis JB, not like business people to deny business. I know, I suspect, right, in fairness to that, you know, I cut him a lot of slack. I just brought it up because I thought, oh, it's a bit odd. But I'm going to change that train because it's jerking a bit, so let me just, when it comes to here, stop. But it has to be said, is that, oh, there we go. They probably had a long weekend and a long way to travel, so as soon as the doors shut, you're like desperately packing up. So, yeah, bit short shrift, but I have to respect the fact they probably had a very long weekend on their feet, dealing with people, very stressful, very draining, and then you've got like the pack up, the long drive home, and probably then shifting stuff out of the van at the other end, so they probably didn't get to bed till like 1 in the morning. So I'm going to cut them a lot of slack on that, but you know, I just thought I'd share that story with you. It's why I haven't named the retailer. But let's see now, shall we have, let's have a 45XX. Ooh, my word, there's some kind of cupboard monkey activity.
What's the code on?
I have no idea. Are you coming up?
Yeah.
To say hello? You know, we had another donation, a very generous donation.
My goodness.
It's
Right, that one's got more cream, this one's got more chocolate. Which one do you want?
I think chocolate's more your thing. So the
I do
cupboard
like
monkey is
chocolate.
in, and the cupboard monkey has provided some kind of profiterole concoction, which looks quite nice.
Cupboard monkey provide.
So actually, I have the cream one.
Okay.
Yeah, I like.
That's the one that's got more cream. That one just looks like it's got more cream because it's got more chocolate underneath.
Are you sure? Okay.
Which one do you want?
I'm just.
You want that one, don't you?
No, you have that one.
No, you can have this one.
I know. I want you to have that one.
Eat
No,
it.
I don't. I want this one. See, you don't want this one after I've licked it.
Do you want some? Do you want some of this cream?
No, I don't. Just bloody eat it. Oh, sorry. Language, Timothy.
See, she's not for kids.
Yeah, not for kids. See, 5553 would be that number. So Loco 5553. So incidentally, this is a 45XX Prairie tank, I believe. It's a Bachmann model, but this predates stuff being DCC ready, so this has been hardwired using a Hornby 4-pin chip. And I believe actually this is the very locomotive that featured in my how-to guide, just to show people how easy it is to hardwire non-DCC ready locomotives. The actual livery, number 5553, oh, it's acting up, isn't it? Probably because it's not running a bit. Was a Bachmann Collector Club exclusive probably about 17 or 18 years ago. So we're going to let that go around for a bit.
Doesn't look happy.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't seem to have a lot of grip. So we're going to rethink the locomotive.
Yeah, turn it off. It's not going to go anywhere. So while Jen's doing that, let's have a look at what the comments are.
Yeah, you go through
What
the
comments have we got here? Would you recommend the Gauge Master controller for DCC trains?
Yeah, actually, I would. That's the one that I'm using. So just hold that up.
This is the first time she's ever let me hold this. You know, she doesn't trust me with this because it looks like a tricorder from Star Trek. So bleep 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 bleep. Beep, 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 beep,
You
beep,
break
beep,
it,
beep,
you
beep,
pay
beep,
for
beep,
it,
beep.
Zoe.
This says here that you're made of Jenny.
Where's
It's
that?
true.
Right.
What happens if I turn this and then press all the buttons at once?
Nothing, because I've just turned it off, so you can't do anything.
She really see. She doesn't trust me, guys. Jen just. I wouldn't have broke it on purpose.
Yeah. Right. Let's see what numbers on this. My eyesight's not what it used to be. 3650. This again, another collector club model. One of my favourites, actually.
You do bring that one out a lot.
Stevenson Clark liveried 57XX pannier tank. So I'm going to.
Yeah, love it.
So what number did I just say?
I don't know.
3650. So I turn that back on now. I've got it back from Loco 3650. Why don't you make yourself at home?
Okay.
Let's see if that one makes it up the hill. There's quite a steep hill over here. And for some reason that 45XX prairie tank was struggling a bit. Actually this has got a lot more grip. I think for some reason, certainly on that version of the model, Bachmann kind of probably got the balance between the 6 driving wheels and the... Oh, it's not playing a ball here.
It doesn't like you tonight.
No.
It's got performance anxiety.
Isn't that something rude?
Yes, when you can't get it up.
Class 37, please, from I Like Transport. A Class 37 won't actually go around the Cinemas track. If I put a Class 37 on, it has to be on one of the other tracks, and you won't actually see it. Tim's Train says switch it back on. So it's already on. We're back up and running. This is turning into a Jenny Stuffs Her Face channel, so just do bear with me. This is lovely. It's like profiterole and chocolate and cream.
Well, while Jen's got her face full and can't stop me from talking, everyone's been asking about Tell Us a Joke. So, let's have a go. And speaking of desserts, did you hear about that proposal a few months back for a law to try and restrict all the sugars and ban sugary foods? Well, I personally think that's terrible, because we had this one about the soft drinks and the ban and sugar tax and ban on sugary drinks. So they came for your sodas, and then they're literally going to take the biscuit too. You know where this ends, don't you? We're going to have a rise in home baking. Now, I tell you, this is true. We're going to have people as well just coming out of work when they're going home and think, well, I'll just pop down this dark alley into this unknown place, and here's a door that doesn't seem to go anywhere. So I'll just knock on that and just say, is Mr. Kipling in? And we'll end up with bake-easies. People going in for, you know, just a shot of Coke, just to get them through the day, you know they're good for it. And having a bit of cake while they're there, because it'll be exceedingly good. But you've got to keep it on the down low, you know. And I'll tell you what's going to happen after that. On their way home, they'll pop round the corner to the guy in the unmarked van, where he's selling off bathtub custard. You mark my words, that's what's going to happen. It's a slippery slope, and I intend to slide down it.
You know, Mr. Kipling always makes me think there's like one guy in a bakery shouting, "I'll sleep when it's done!" I'm trying to complete an order for 4 million apple pies. Are you finished then?
Well, I thought I'd just do my short bit then.
You know, we've lost like 15 watchers whilst you've been doing that.
Hey, it's getting better.
Chef's chocolate salty balls, Neil Sizer says. No, they're not. James Petch, from modelling to mukbangs. Ian Ryan, back with the refreshments. Chin chin.
Zoe's dystopian vision of cake speakeasies. Not speakeasies, bakeasies. bit like Easy Bakes, but I didn't want to get sued, so I changed the words around.
Oh, Brockwell Lane says, different class of pannier, 16XX. Oh, I thought it was a 57XX. SCR 1981, do opal fruits count towards your 5 a day? Yes, as -2. Flymo Chairman 1. Leslie Gilpin, thank you. I've always wondered that, asked many people, but no one said that straight. HO uses OO gauge too. Yeah, they both run on the same track. Technically speaking, 00 is running on HO track. The track is HO. Because proper 00 track that's what EM and P4 is.
Isn't 00 track that one where it's got a solid base of ballast on it? And
No,
it looks
it's
like
like
a block.
HO track is 16.5 millimeters between railheads. Proper 00 track is something like 18.83 millimeters between the railheads. Good evening to Tullia 10. Leslie Gilpin, Flymo Chairman 1, you'll just have to watch the trains fitting through your platforms and bridges.
Now, talking about watching the trains going through the platform.
Which
The
particular
camera
plan?
plans.
You tell them, because you know what you're talking about, and I'm too drunk to remember. Plus I want to stuff my face.
Okay, guys, I'm back again. My goodness. The next thing that is going to happen in here, the progress on the railway. I can see, Jen, there's a screen there. I can see you doing it. The way to do that properly is to do it when you're not looking. The next thing that we want to do in here, because she's got this all set up nice, and it is quite nice. We want to show it off on these live streams. That's one of the things that came up here to do the live streams on the phone. But we don't want to keep going with the phone indefinitely. We're going to upgrade the computer, and we're going to have a set of cameras. And we're going to have one in the corner so we can see from that angle, one over there so we can see from that angle, things like that. One probably angled over the mountain that you can't see here unless I turn the camera around. The idea is that we will be able to go from just having Jen on screen to Jen on screen in the corner, and having a live view of the trains, as if we're doing one of those running sessions that Jen calls Trains Running By on her playlists, as if we're doing one of them, but it'll be live. And she'll be able to switch between the cameras with a camera board that will switch around. So instead of just seeing the trains a little bit here and there, you'll actually get to the full view. That's our next project. That's what we're going to expand from here. But it's probably going to be a while, because I got her a web camera as a test of this, and she put it down, and now she can't find it. So it's in here somewhere.
The room has eaten the camera.
We just don't know where it is, and that's one of the many issues that we've got to get past Jen, which is her ability to destroy technology without even thinking about it. So
I'm just not very good with tech. I keep things basic.
have a roll.
I don't want any more. Right. Donald Thompson, big thanks to you as well earlier on, doing that very generous £10 donation. My USA SD40-2 looks small on a Brit layout. It's a diesel that the 66 is based on, just half a mil difference. Interesting. I know, I've seen pictures of the Class 66 is being delivered from the General Motors facility in, I think it was Canada. And they look weird next to actual American locomotives because they are so much smaller. What's
I'm
wrong?
just going to get rid of the ignorant little troll person that's turned up.
Somebody is. You need the dots at the. You want to use your phone?
Yeah.
There it is at the end. There, the three
There
dots.
it is.
So
Can't have these little troll things. You know what? I'm going to use it on my phone because it's much better when I can ban them and block them off the channel and report them to YouTube all from one button.
already done. You're too slow.
Yes. People like that just need to get off the internet.
Well, to be honest, they need to get out from underneath their parents' stairs and put on something other than a pair of dirty Y-fronts.
No, they can keep the wide fronts. No one else will want them. Actually, if it's already done, why not
Tullia
go
10,
anyway?
the Class 66 was based on the SD75. So was the 59 based on something similar as well? Otis JB, the poor residents of Weiryard. Imagine waking up one morning and seeing giant trains moving around in the sky. It would be so confusing. Well, the big hand of God, a big can of booze. There are zombies on here, actually, funnily enough. And also, it turns out, we have James from GMRC in miniature form. I shall call him Mini James.
Where is he?
He's hidden away, actually, around that. He's in a position where...
Is he along with little Santa's little helper?
Santa's little helper and a couple of zombies. And it's a little cameo that you only see, really, if the camera train goes past it. But there's also the zombies over by the Bates Motel. Just because we had zombies left over after we stripped the Halloween layout from GMRC. Otis JB says, I'm talking about the computer screens you're planning to put in. Yeah, I do need another computer screen. I'd like one that hinges, so I can move it in, use it, and hinge it back out of the way.
Right, since you've finished feeding your mush.
Yeah, take this away.
Okay.
And
you get back to your lightweights.
Take the empty as well.
Have you had all of your lightweight beers yet?
No, I've still got another one. Which, actually, to be honest with you, I'm gonna put this one by for another.
Total lightweight.
I can't chug what I used to.
You are now christened Bud Lightweight.
Bud Lightweight. I like that. Yeah, Donald Thompson says the 66 is a grown-up 59.
Right, I'm getting you. See ya.
I think so. It's bad trolling. J. Paul Anderson, I actually believe there is good as well as bad trolling. Some trolling can be quite playful, kind of in jest, and then there is simply jerkish trolling. Oh yes.
Oh, if you want to know about good trolling, right? Before I go, I was going to rush off, but people mentioned good trolling. If you want to know about good trolling, then after this,
50p in
after tonight's live stream, you need to go and find a channel called Know Your Meme and look up their video on cannibal trolls. It is the most hilarious thing. It's just superb. Proper trolling of trolls, and it's just brilliant.
So these are the people that basically swoop in. When a troll turns up, they troll the troll.
Yes.
Right.
It's brilliant.
Mmm.
Right, see you later.
John Nutman asks, hiya Jenny, did you get to see Evan Creech from the Southampton Model Railway Society? May, stop it. She's doing shadow puppets because there's like a desk right there.
I can see your shadows.
Yeah, everybody can. You're really annoying. Oh, we put 50p in, so...
I've had sugar.
James Pett says, is there anything like scam baiting? Oh, is that the one where it's like, well, yeah, I'd love to give you my bank details, but how do I know you're not a scammer? I need you to send me a photograph of yourself with, I don't know, with a huge, great, big penis drawn in permanent marker on your forehead. Because only a genuine person would do that.
I do love that, yeah.
But apparently it is possible to scam money out of scammers by giving them the details of an account. So, well, if you put £1,000 in this account, then of course I'll know you're genuine.
Yeah, and I'll send it straight back to you.
Yeah, and basically then you just pocket the money and go, cheers, troll. But yeah,
there
London.
must be something wrong. You did send it to this account, didn't you?
Good night to Dragon Junction. I have to go now. Bed for me. I've been on the ball tonight. And thanks for the chat. See you next week. Same time, same place. Time. Bye bye. Yeah, I'm looking at the time actually. We're coming up to pretty much the 3-hour mark. In fact, we started early, so we're over 3 hours. Although this video is split into 2. And I've been rendered almost speechless a number of times by the generosity of some of you in your very, very kind donations. So thanks to the people who've donated on Super Chat. What we've decided to do is put that money towards a locomotive that was chosen as being hopefully a Helgen 1361 tank, and then we will do a full box opening and review of that, and we will also credit the people who put in some very large donations as being responsible for us being able to do that video. So it's weird, I see the comments come up on 118 what? 100, oh yeah, 118 pounds. I am humbled, really humbled by just how generous you guys have been. And like I always say, you don't have to donate. It's not like I'm rattling a tin going, "Chipper, any change?" It's not like that. I do have a full-time job, but I've also got bills and upkeep and stuff, and it is an expensive hobby. So any donations I do receive go towards being able to film more of the videos that you want to see. And in this instance, because you've been specifically very, very generous with channeling that into buying a locomotive and reviewing it. So really, really humbled by your generosity. But yeah, Ian Ryan, spare a shekel for an ex-leper. An ex-leper? Yeah, I've got that blooming Jesus. He came over and it's like, oh, didn't ask me. No so much as a by your leave, took away my entire livelihood. Oh dear. Oh, and just before I go, the Cannibal Troll video has just been put up. A link to that by Gamehammer Classic Gaming. But it's been great to see you all. Don't forget to like this video, share it too, and also subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. And you can also head on over to allmousemedia.com, where you too can pick up your own copies of my best-selling books from 2008 and 2009. There's also other books there as well, so not just the only books you get, but just I've got boxes of them. And you can buy them through Amazon as well, if you want to suckle at the corporate teat. But also on Teespring as well, you can pick up your own Jenny Club mug. But it's been great to have you all along for the ride. It's always really honoured to have your company. It's been great seeing you all. You all take amazingly good care of yourselves, and we're going to be having more videos up on Wednesday. Friday video as well. I'm hoping actually I might be doing another one of my top 10 favourites video. A lot of you have asked about the coach video to complement the wagon video that I did, so I might just dig out my top 10 favourite coaches in my collection and see whether you agree with those choices. But until then, you take really good care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Oh, come on. Right. This is the awkward bit when you do a live stream on a mobile phone, when you're trying to stop it, and it's like, or it's like the finger of doom is, there we go. Do you want us to, yes.